In this portion of the demonstration, we will look at the bidirectional interaction between Spectrum Spatial's map viewer using the map viewer selection mode and MicroStrategy selectors. To begin the demo, I will open our customer analysis dashboard for a made-up e-commerce retailer selling bicycles and bicycle accessories in the Los Angeles County area. The map viewer is currently set to display the average sales amount by postal zip code. However, to better demonstrate the bidirectional selector, I will turn off this regional layer and turn on our individual customer layer. And since I know the majority of our sales are in and around the city of Long Beach, I will zoom into this area. Before I demonstrate the bidirectional selector, note we have 1.4 million in total sales. After I make a selection using the Map Viewer selection tool, this value will reflect the total sales for the customers we define with the tool. I'm using the Polygon selection tool, which allows me to freehand and define a custom selection area within the Map Viewer. After finalizing a selection by double-clicking the last selection point, you can see we reduced the number of customers to only the selected area, and the total sales values now reflect this change. This represents one way of the bidirectional selector, where we make a selection in a map viewer and manipulate the MicroStrategy objects outside the map viewer. The second part of our bidirectional selector involves manipulating MicroStrategy objects outside the map viewer, resulting in a change in the data presented inside the map viewer. For example, I will select the year 2013 from the MicroStrategy drop-down selector, which will reduce the number of customers in the map viewer to only those locations of customers who purchased product in 2013. Let's now take a look at available layers we can configure in the map viewer using the attributes and metrics defined in MicroStrategy. In the case of our demo, we configure two regional layers, representing the metrics average sales amount and average order quantity. The source map for these layers is based on U.S. postal zip codes in LA County. However, these layers are not limited to only government boundaries. With the proper GIS software, custom maps can be developed and deployed as the source map for the region layers. Point layers are layers where data is represented on the map as a single point, image, or symbol. In our demo, the customer attribute income range is represented by a series of bubble images, and the circular shapes represent the attribute age range. As you can see, we have multiple layers enabled and overlapping, providing depth and dimensionality of our data. Next, let's look at a few of the available visualization layers. These are layers which involve no calculation or configuration within MicroStrategy. Instead, these layers are configured within the map viewer and calculated on the fly based on the individual point metric values and then rendered on the map. First is a contour visualization. This layer functions just like a contour elevation map. Closer the contour lines are together, the more rapid the change in the data. Farther apart equals less of a change, and the color identifies a level of intensity. In this example, the contour represents our yearly sales. The surface density layer functions much like a heat map, displaying the highest concentration of points to the lowest, which is useful in identifying patterns in the data. In this case, we are displaying the yearly income of our customers. Point clusters group closely positioned points together and represents them as an icon with the number of points within the radius of the cluster. This is useful in identifying trends within the data where a large number of individual points distorts or renders the data uninterpretable. As you can see, as I zoom in and out on the map, the visualization is recalculated based on the elevation of the zoom. All the visualizations available are capable of performing this recalculation on the fly. This is only a few of the many features available with Pitney Bowes Spectrum Spatial MicroStrategy Connector. Please contact Intelligent Data Solutions or Pitney Bowes for additional information or to set up a demo for your company.